to be here. Thank y'all. That was awesome. It's good to be in the house of the Lord tonight. Amen. It's good to be here with all you young people. Amen. The house full. Good to see all of y'all. Amen. I was praying earlier about what God wanted me to talk to you about tonight and things, and something that goes on quite a bit. Something's been going on since the beginning of time. I want to talk to you about bullying. I want to talk to you about being a bully. I'm going to talk to you about being bullied, because I don't know about everybody, but I know I've been both sides of that. Amen. I'm pretty sure that before your life's over, you're going to be one side or the other of it at one time or another. Amen. But tonight I'm going to talk to you about a guy named Zacchaeus. Zacchaeus had a few little struggles and things, but most of his struggle was that he was bullied, and then he became a bully, and then he found the love of Jesus in him, and God started changing his life. Amen. Because it don't matter what side of bullying you've been on, Jesus is still the answer. Yes, it is. Let me pray for us all tonight. Dear Heavenly Father, I just come to you tonight, just asking you to have your way in my heart. And each one of these young people's heart here tonight, Father, I ask you to help these parents, these church leaders, everyone that's in here tonight to cheer my voice. Tonight I just pray that you touch them and that they be busted wide open tonight for your glory and nothing else. Yes, Lord Jesus. Lord, I just ask you to have your way. Father, anyone that's struggling with these things, Lord, I pray that they have that intimate experience with you tonight, Father, better than they've ever had, because I know that's what you have for all of us. Father, how close you wish for us to walk with you and to trust you, Lord. So tonight, I want to lift that up, but then on the backside, Lord, I want to lift up those that it's revealed to them tonight that they might have been a bully, that they might have damaged others. Lord, I just pray that you help them. Let them not be beat down by it, but let them realize that no matter what, you still want to help them. You still want to help them to be better and to do better. So tonight, Lord, I just ask you to have your way in my heart and every heart here. In Jesus' name I pray. Amen. 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 Some of y'all have heard me before. My name's Bain, and I work at the Recovery Ranch down there at Wilburton. It's not a rehab program, it's a discipleship program. Amen. And all I'm doing is teaching guys how to follow Jesus every day of their life. Not because I've got it figured out, but because I'm learning how to follow him every day of my life, and my life's getting better and better every day. Amen. Amen. And that's what it's about. We don't have to go through these rough things. When somebody else is sharing their testimony or telling us about things that they've been through, it's to help us so we don't have to go through them. So we don't have to walk away and not be in Jesus. I want to encourage all you young people to realize that no matter what's going on in your life, it's okay to go ahead and love Jesus now. Yes, amen. You can grow up your whole life and just walk hand in hand with him. And you're going to have an amazing life. Yeah, things are still going to be hard. Yeah, there's still going to be trouble. But you're going to handle it better than anybody else has if you're walking with Jesus. Amen. See, when I quit walking with Jesus, I started having pretty terrible things go on. Things happen. I've been clean and running with Jesus this time for almost 8 years. And I'm finding out today, that some of those things I did when I was a kid, even before I had messed up and got on drugs, were separating me from the love of Jesus because I was mean to people. See, it started out, when I started out in school and all, I was always bigger than everybody else. I wasn't the brightest kid around. I wasn't the fastest kid around. I ain't never been the prettiest kid around. And you know how people pick and tease and do things, and kids are having fun. Well, when I wasn't as fast as them and I couldn't outrun them, they'd make fun of me. When I wasn't doing as good in school as they was doing, they'd make fun of me. Those kind of things, when I wasn't catching on as fast. When I didn't learn how to tie my shoes until I was in the 2nd or 3rd grade. It was mainly because I wore boots and didn't care nothing about tying their shoes. But they made fun of me over some of these things. You know? So when I got my feelings hurt by people, what did I do? I found somebody else I could hurt. As I got older, I found out that these older kids that like to pick on littler kids, if you was big enough to do it, you could whoop on them and you could be bullied to them. So I went the other way and started bullying the big mean kids. And that was just as wrong as them bullying me. You know, I started things with them. I did terrible things to them, picking and poking and then actually physically hurting. But you know, it's the love of Jesus today that shows me where I messed up. And showed me that I would have had a lot better life with a lot less consequences if I'd have realized back then that no matter how old you are, that no matter how you're brought up or no matter what kind of situation you're in, no matter how smart you are, no matter how smart you're not, we don't have to live like that. We don't have to pick on somebody else. We don't have to be mean to somebody. When someone treats us wrong, we should pray for them. We should treat them the way that we want to be treated. You know how bad it makes you feel when you've been bullied? Why would I have ever wanted to do that to someone else? Man, these are just some real things that goes on with everybody, I think. If you don't bully nobody, but you've been bullied, hey, I'm sorry. But don't go bully nobody just because you've been bullied. If we want to live the way Jesus has asked us to live, and be pleasing to Him, we're going to be nice to them people anyway. We're going to try to show them the love of Jesus. See, I didn't learn all that or pay attention to it until I got older. Until I messed my life up so bad no one wanted to be around me. I just want to encourage y'all that y'all don't have to do those things. That y'all don't have to do it that way. That when someone's mean to you, you can still be nice to them. Some of the worst things I look back on now in my life was I was in grade school. And just because someone was different to me, a girl they used to tease me about. My dad and them teased me about her being my girlfriend. So when I get to school in the morning, this girl would say, "Good morning, how are you?" "Shut up, leave me alone. Don't talk to me. I don't like you." I was rude. I was mean. When I got older and got out of school and things, and I looked back and I thought, you know, I don't think that girl ever said a mean word to me. Why was I so mean to her? My dad and them thought she was a pretty girl, thought she was a nice girl. They were just teasing me because they didn't think I liked girls at the time. I was afraid they didn't know I liked girls. I was in junior high, you know. I got tired of them teasing me about it. My dad didn't mean nothing by it. Sometimes when we're teasing folks, we're causing damage.
Amen.
We don't realize those things. I'm the world's worst at picking tease on people. Still. And I take it too far. Still. We need to really be careful about those things. We really need to be careful that we're treating everybody like we like to be treated. It's a lot better when you go open the door for somebody instead of you watch them and say, "Whoa, they about dropped all that." You know? I believe Jesus opened doors for people in the physical and in the spiritual. I believe He opened doors for everybody He came to. I believe He's still trying to open the doors of our heart where He can come in and love us and let us love other people the way He wants us to. So kids, I want to just tell you tonight that you don't think you can start doing things for Jesus. But if you start treating your brothers and your sisters and your friends and the people at school, even the people you don't really like or don't really want to be around, if we're still nice to them,
amen,
eventually it's going to be easier to be around them because they're going to be nice back because they're going to get tired of being mean and rude to you. And one of these days they're going to be really sorry when they look back like I have and realize they were mean to somebody just because they were different. Or just because they were better at something. So kids, tonight I just want to tell y'all that it's never too early to start living the way Jesus wants you to live.
Amen.
And it's never too late to make it right with Jesus until this life's over. Don't wait though. If you think you've done too much, if you think you've been too bad, don't buy that. You've not. Jesus still wants you to come and let him help you. And to change your heart where you're not like that no more, where those things don't slow you down, where you can be happy, where you can help the people around you to be happy and have joy and peace.
Amen.
Is it better when everybody around you is in a bad mood and nobody wants to talk and everybody's all depressed and just keeping to themselves? Or is it better when everybody's out there bouncing basketballs and running around and taking turns and bumping into each other in the right way and just playing ball and having good things go on around here? You know, when everybody's getting up here and singing, you know, the Spirit's moving on you, and some of you was dancing and moving around and things, you know, that's a good way to be. It's a good thing to do, just to let Jesus be all over you and be happy and have a good time with Jesus. Your whole life can be like that. We're really blessed to live in a country where we don't have to hide that we can love Jesus.
Amen.
Where we can go be happy and somebody says, what are you so happy about? Because Jesus loves me. Come on. Because Jesus is teaching me how to be nice.
Amen.
Because even though I'm not the smartest one, Jesus loves me anyway. Even though I'm not the prettiest one, Jesus loves me anyway. I never had the problem of thinking I was, so I don't know about people that's awful pretty. I'm assuming you know Jesus loves you anyway. He wants y'all to encourage each other. He wants y'all to help each other be better and have a better time. If you're better at somebody at school, help them. If you're better at somebody in sports, help them. If somebody's having a bad day, be nice to them. Don't make it worse. Man, these are just some simple things that I'm realizing as old as I'm getting that are more and more important than I ever realized. We have choices we make every day, and we can make a choice to be nice and help somebody have a good day. That's a lot better than saying and making their day bad just because yours wasn't starting out too good. If you make somebody else have a good day, I promise you your day will be better than it was, better than it could have been. I still have some struggles in some of that. The reason I tell you about my struggles is because we're not perfect. But I don't want you to get down. I don't want you to think, man, I'm disappointing the Lord. I want you to think that when you disappoint the Lord, or when you think you might have done something He didn't want you to, that when you feel that, when you know that, all you got to do is say, Lord, thank you and help me. Thank you for showing me. Thank you for letting me know that I might not be doing that the best way. So tonight, that's what I want to tell you. I want to encourage you to love each other, to do a better job of being what Jesus would have me to be. You know, some of y'all think, well, they say I'm too little. I got news for you. When you're a baby and you get up and you're starting to walk around, and they've told you, no, you can't have that. And you slip over there and the first thing you do is get it and take off with it. See, Jesus has already showed you that you're not supposed to do that or have that. You know that it's wrong. He doesn't put what's right and wrong, the difference in you. So you know how to act and know what you can do and what you're not supposed to. You know if you have to hide that it's not right, that it's wrong. So you know that if somebody's told you not to do something, that it's going to hurt you. But you know from what the Bible stories you've heard, that you shouldn't do certain things. And then when it's going on and you feel, oh, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Thank God, because you're already big enough to know. And you can start living the right way and pleasing Jesus. You're never too young to do that. So if you think it don't matter, and you think you're too little to do anything or to love somebody else the way Jesus loved, you're wrong. You know, people talk about Indians and different things back in the day. How did they know who Jesus was? How did they know what's right and wrong? The reason they stole horses in the dark because they knew they shouldn't steal. You know? The reason they crawled up to another Indian's house and stole his horse when he wasn't looking because they knew it wasn't a good thing. The reason they slipped up and murdered people in the dark is because they knew it was wrong. When we know something's wrong, Jesus wants to help us make it right. He wants us not to do those things anymore. He wants us to realize that if we'll listen to Him and follow Him, that when something says don't do that, you don't have to do that. You can say, thank you, Lord.
Amen.
And you cannot ever have that problem again. But if you do things the way I've done, you're going to have a lot of problems through the rest of your life if you keep doing it. It's that simple to me, folks, and to y'all it should be. If something says don't do it, it's not right, it's going to hurt someone, hey, don't do it. If something says, hey, this will help them, this is good, if it makes them smile, not because you're being mean to somebody else, but it makes them smile because you helped them, or you did something nice for somebody else, that's probably a good thing to do.
Amen.
You'll feel it inside you. See, Jesus wants to come into your life. He wants to live in your heart. He wants to be your Lord and Savior. He wants to help you do things that make you better, where you don't have to be in trouble, where you don't have to have consequences that aren't very good. Tonight, that's what I wanted to share with you. I wanted to share that with you, and now I'm going to tell you about Zach. I'm going to tell you what he went through and what he was, and I'm going to point out some little things that I think was the way he went wrong and the way he went right. So tonight, I'm going to be in Luke, chapter 19. I'm going to start in verse 1 and go through verse 9. And it said, and Jesus entered and passed through Jericho. And behold, there was a man named Zacchaeus, which was the chief among the publicans, and he was rich. Publicans, man, they were like tax collectors. They were like bill collectors. Everybody knows you hide from a bill collector, you know. They're coming to get you money. Come on. No, seriously. Back then, tax collectors, man, some of them had a job to do and all. Some of them took advantage of it. Some of them took extra money. Some of them was wrong and took things like that. It was a real easy job to do terrible things to people, to take everything they had. So nobody liked them to start with. And it said, verse 3 here, it said, and he sought to see Jesus and who he was. He had heard about Jesus, apparently, and he wanted to know who he was. He wished he could see him, because of the things he's heard about. And he said he could not, because of the press, because he was little of stature. That means there were so many people pressed in, kind of like y'all were up here on the stage. There wasn't no way to see over them or around them. Because this guy was short for a grown man. He was little. I picture him as being just a little bitty guy. And I picture a big old tall crowd around. He's trying to jump and look over him and see. He wants to see Jesus. He wants to know about this guy he's been hearing about. And he ran before and climbed up into a sycamore tree to see him, for he was to pass that way. You see, he heard Jesus was coming. And he knew about where the people was at and everything, and he was coming by there. So he run and climb up in a tree where he could see. Y'all ever had to do that? Y'all ever been wanting to see something? Somebody's birthday party and everybody's crowded around, you're trying to see what they're opening, and you go stand in the chair or whatever you do. Man, that's the way Zacchaeus was doing. A grown man trying to do that because he wanted to see Jesus. And he said, when Jesus came into the place, he looked up and he saw and said unto him, Zacchaeus, make haste and come down, for this day I may abide in your house. That means he was going to go hang out with Zacchaeus. See, Jesus knows your heart. Jesus is trying to draw each and every one of y'all to come into a relationship with him where he can help you and guide you like I was talking about a while ago. See, he wants to do that for each and every one of us, and he's trying to. The way he's done it made Zacchaeus want to know who he was. See, as you're hearing these things and the things I've talked about, I know Jesus is saying, I wish you'd come on and trust me. I want you to know that I'm the one trying to help you. I'm the one trying to keep you from doing bad things and having consequences and going and just being in trouble or just not being happy. He said, I want to help you. And that's why Zacchaeus wanted to get in there to him and get close to him. He wanted to find out about this guy. Well, Jesus said, hey, come down from here. I'm going to go home with you. I want to hang out. Jesus wants to hang out with you.
Amen.
If you've been bullied, if things at school are tough, you don't want to go to school, and you just take going, and it's been so rough on you, Jesus is there for you. Jesus wants to be that person that shows you and lets you know how much you mean to him. If you feel like no one else loves you or cares about you, I promise you Jesus does. Jesus died for you. so that he can help you with these kind of things, so he can help other people. But those people that bully you, if you don't pray for them, if you don't pray that God help them, and if Jesus show them where they need help, they probably ain't going to be no better. There may not be nobody else praying for them. I know it sounds weird to pray for that guy that's being mean to you, but that's the only way he's probably going to get any better.
That's right.
If people hadn't prayed for me that I was mean to, I probably wouldn't have got no better.
Amen.
I thank God for them people, and I'm sorry I was mean to them today. Most of them didn't think I was as mean as I felt like later, and I'm sure glad for that.
Amen.
But I'm sorry for a lot of things I did, the way I treated people. But guess what? Jesus is helping me with that. He's helping me tell y'all how not to do those things, how to be better, how to have a better life. You know, so he told Zacchaeus, he said, man, come on down, I'll hang out with you. So he goes home with Zacchaeus. And it said he made haste on Zacchaeus. He come out of that tree when he said he was going with him. And he said he received him joyfully. I mean, he said, come on, man, let's go. Let's go. He grabbed him by the arm. Let's go to my house. That's cool. Man, they had a good time, I imagine. I imagine it was amazing. That's the way Jesus wants it to be when you come with him. When you start to hang out with him. He wants it to be a great time. He wants to help you with those things that just hold you back. And then in verse 7 it says, and when they saw it, it's talking about all the rest of the people that was crowded around, you know. And it said they murmured. That means they were mumbling and talking bad or griping or whatever they wanted to do. And it said they were murmuring that he was a guest and gone with this man which was a sinner. We're all sinners. They were all sinners. They want to talk about Zacchaeus being a sinner worse than them. Ain't nobody worse than anybody else. We've all got our problems. That's why we need to pray for each other. Because we don't know what that bully is going through. That bully may be getting in trouble at home. He may not have nobody cares about him. He may need your prayers because there ain't nobody else praying for him. And nobody else cares what happens to him. I know, because I thought that at the time. And the rest of the time I was just wrong. I was wrong about all of it. But they were talking about him being a tax collector. About how he ripped people off. Man, Jesus is going to hang out with that guy. It don't matter what you've done. It don't matter how long you've been. Jesus wants to hang out with you. Jesus wants to help you.
Amen. That's right.
This here's what Zacchaeus said, you know. Zacchaeus stood, and he said unto the Lord, behold, half of my goods I give to the poor. And if I have taken anything from any man by false accusation, I'll restore it to him 4 times greater. He said, if I've done those things, he wasn't going to do that before, I don't believe. I believe it was after he met Jesus. I believe it was after he'd seen where he was messing up and how he'd probably done some things wrong.
Amen.
You know, Zacchaeus had been bullied because he was so little. People picked on him, probably whooped on him his whole life, made fun of him, pushed him to the back, wouldn't let him be a part of nothing. So Zacchaeus, when he grows up, he gets to be a tax collector. He said, hey, I remember that dude. I'm going to take every dime he's got. I'm supposed to get a quarter of it, I'm going to take half of it. I don't know all that for sure, but I know that's the way they looked at him, and that's the way a lot of them did things. So he went from being bullied to being a bully. Just like maybe some of y'all have. Just like maybe some of y'all's headed to.
Amen.
Well, that was where I ended up. But just like Zacchaeus, since I found Jesus, I want to do something to make it better.
That's right.
I want to come tell you about the love of Jesus. And about how I don't want you to feel the way I feel. Because I feel pretty bad when I've been mean to people. And I don't know why, but there's still some things in me sometimes I want to be mean. God help me, I don't want to do those things, but sometimes I still do. Sometimes I'm in a bad mood and I want to make somebody else in a bad mood. And the reason is I ain't got enough Jesus in me yet. I've not let Jesus have enough of me. If y'all can learn to let Jesus have all of y'all now, y'all going to be so much more ahead of all the rest of us.
Amen. That's right. That's
It's
right.
okay to live for Jesus from the time you hear about him to the time you die. Amen. Your life will be amazing.
Amen.
The struggles and the things that hold you back right now won't ever touch you. From that point on, they're not going to be those problems. Man, he promises an amazing life through those things. But he said he's going to give it to them back, and he's going to make sure they get 4 times more than what he took. That's pretty amazing. That means Jesus has changed his heart. Do you want Jesus to change your heart?
Amen.
Do you want Jesus to make things better? That's what he does. That's what he came for. And then in verse 9, it said, and Jesus said unto him, this day salvation is come to this house. Wow. You know, when he went and hung out with Jesus, and Jesus seen that Zacchaeus' heart was changed because of him, because he accepted who Jesus was, and he was going to accept Jesus' guidance and example, and knew that he needed to be better and not be that way no more. Said salvation is coming to this house. And that's an amazing thing. So your house, your temple, your heart is the house that Jesus wants to live in. He wants salvation to come into your house. He wants to live in you forever. He wants you to spend eternity. When this life's over here on this in this world, he wants you to be with him. You're going to have peace and joy. Because when that happens, we ain't going to have all the heaviness, all the queries, all the hurts, all the things of this world. And that's a good thing to look forward to.
Amen.
But there's another side to that. Y'all all heard about hell. Y'all all heard how terrible it is. Why would anybody in their right mind want to know what hell is? You don't ever have to know. You can choose Jesus because he's choosing you. Because he wants you to come and be his children. So tonight, if you don't know Jesus is your Lord and Savior, it's the time. The end of that says, salvation is coming to this house, for as much also he is the son of Abraham. We can all be sons and daughters of God. We can be joint heirs with Jesus because of what Jesus did. But it's only through the blood of Jesus, and when you accept the blood of Jesus on your life, when you ask him to come in and be your Savior, if you can tell right from wrong, if you know there's things you're doing you shouldn't be doing, you're old enough to let Jesus come live in your heart. I believe he's dealing with each and every one of you. And I believe when it's time, you're going to know, and you're going to have to get with him, or you're going to have to get away from it, because you won't be able to take it. I lived with him for a while, and then I went the other way, and I didn't keep it. I pushed it away. He didn't ever take it from me. I pushed it away. I don't suggest y'all ever do that. I suggest that once you get to meet Jesus, once you get to understand that you're going to make him your Lord and Savior, you just do what he asks you, and you just let him help you. Because it's going to be amazing. Because I have an amazing life now. But I could have had an amazing life the whole time if I'd have let him have his way with me. Would have been a lot simpler to be nice to people than to worry about who's mad, who's going to do what to me because I was so mean to them. Someone that's mean to you, I promise, is going to have a harder time being mean to you if you're nice to them. I know, because I was nice to people that were mean to me some. But when someone was nice to me, it hurt when I was mean to them. It bothered me. Today, if there's things bothering you, where you know you've been on one side of this or the other, it don't matter what side. None of my business. But Jesus is telling me, hey, just trust me. Let me help you. You don't have to live this way. You know, there's people every day that commit suicide because of bullying. It's just like murder. I pray to God I never push nobody that far. I pray to God I never do that to nobody again. I pray to God y'all don't.
Amen.
I pray to God that when you see somebody with that kind of trouble and that kind of hurt, that you have the compassion of Jesus after you've accepted him and you know who he is and share that with him. That's where life's awesome. That's where things are good. can't share all that with you tonight without sharing this with you. See, Zacchaeus, he lived on both sides of it. When he got some power, when he got a little bit growed up,